Now, welcome back. Now, the Come Good Rain is a one-man play that explores personal experiences during difficult times in a Uganda history. Now, the play offers a deep and emotional journey for the audience. Now, today we are joined by producer Kia Mohetsi, Joseph Molapong, and actor George Bwanika Seremba, who will share more insights about this powerful production and what viewers can expect. Now, good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you indeed. Let's talk about what made you bring the Come Good Rain to Windhoek. And after all, you're saying that it's a Ugandan story. I mean, how does it resonate with Namibians?
I think the fact that we've got George here and the fact that we had the similar situations in Namibia, I think it relates to Uganda. We all know about Idi Amin, we all know about Odobe. So these people are the people that we have read about. We know about the atrocities, things that happen in Uganda, and all of these things. So we thought a lot of things happen to Namibians as well. You know, we've got a whole liberation issue, the whole dungeons issue, the abduction, the Lubango, and all of those. So these issues have been there, but we have not yet put it together in a theater form. So we thought, since he's got that leeway of having experienced that himself, having survived the abduction and the torture, and then even was sentenced to death. We thought it would be good to relate to Namibia so that we can also start to talk about these issues through theatrical means in Namibia. That's primarily the idea. Yeah.
Okay. George, now bringing this to Namibia, what does it mean, you know, talking about history, giving some reflections on your history? I mean, you were sentenced to death, you were kidnapped. It's talking about the fact that you probably might have also been tortured. What sense do you, what comes to your mind when you are bringing this to Namibia? I know it happened in Uganda. Well, what do you think it means for Namibians that might be watching right now and might not necessarily have experienced all this troubling history?
Well, it is a historical document as well as a timeless one in terms of the horror that it captures about the Uganda of both Milton Obote and Idi Amin. And one reason that I was anxious to come back here is because I had actually been here initially as part of a delegation for narrating Namibia, narrating Africa, which I got involved in out of a performance in Stuttgart in Germany. And when I got here, I felt, first of all, I felt spiritually that there was a degree of solidarity. I had myself been a refugee for quite a number of years in Kenya, and it's actually in Kenya that I believe in some ways I became larger than just a Ugandan. I was slowly becoming an African first and foremost, and so I regard the play as a cautionary note and a call for vigilance, because there's so many things that we take for granted when we actually should not. And right now, things are falling apart in many parts of the world where people had kind of gone to sleep assuming that their rights and freedoms would be guaranteed forever. And so it's partly that made me return here. It's also that I met some wonderful artists, including Mola here, and I thought that was important for us to collaborate. I live in Toronto, Canada, and I have been there for quite a number of years, but obviously the heart's still African, and so I was looking, and I am looking forward not only to perform Good Rain, but also we are going to be doing playwriting workshops, at least one, and we are also going to be reading page in hand another play of mine which harps on similar themes. And it's my hope that it's not all going to be just me in the future, that I will be able to collaborate more effectively with their fellow artists here to try and see whether we can extract a certain kind of hope from some of the misery instead of perhaps that misery consuming us and wasting us. It becomes important to find some positive things out of it. And I believe that this alliance with my African brothers and sisters, that it's not going to end here. I hope that it is actually more a beginning than anything else.
Okay. Now, Kia Makoti, let's talk about what do you hope the audience will feel or appreciate from this performance? Obviously, in terms of after our independence, this similarities that Uganda have, this is after their independence, but this are not something that Namibians have experienced after independence. So what do you hope they will learn or feel
I
from
think
this?
the basic lesson is going to be to really talk about things that happened, because we have never had the opportunity to really talk about things that happened to us. We read what people have said, we know about the reconciliation, the Truth Commission in South Africa, we read about all other things, but we have not really had the opportunity to talk. And I think a theatrical performance like this one allows one to use animation, to use gestures, to use caricature to really talk about issues without pointing fingers. And that will help us really to come forth and say, okay, fine, I might not be a good writer, but I can perform. I might not be a good singer, but I can sculpture some of these things. But then really to talk about all these things that happen to us, which we are always suppressing. We are a nation that does not talk.
But
we complain
specifically,
for one day, and then the next day everything is all good.
Why are we look?
I don't know. I think there's been a sense of fear. One, two is the fact that we don't want to be associated with things that are not politically correct. We always want to be in the right position, say the right words, associate with the right people, but we are scared really to divert, to move away and become our individual selves that can really talk about what we have at heart. I think that's partly the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about when is a play taking place in Namibia, where specifically, what time will it be starting? Are there any damages for those that might be interested in watching?
I think we don't call it damage, we call it contributions.
Okay.
Yes, we are going to be performing for 3 nights at the theatre school, that is 63 Robert Mugabe Avenue. And it's going to be the 12th, 13th, and 14th of this week. This is the week for the performances. The contribution is just $80, which we are going to try and make use of to really invest into what we are doing, because this won't be the first or the last. Like you said, we are going to have a reading, script reading again the following week, and then the 21st we are going to basically have a theater workshop on the one-handers, how to write, how to produce, how to direct and perform one-handers. So that's going to be part of the monies, the contributions to really look at creating refreshments and trying to make ourselves useful and quenched while we are trying to be creative.
So, George, this is not just about reflecting on the history and the suffering that you have gone through. So it's also an opportunity to train future writers and subscribers and all, etc. How does that make you feel that possibly you are having an opportunity to transfer knowledge from you to the next generation of writers?
Well, I have, in many ways, spent quite a bit of my life as a teacher, and I think it's a wonderful thing to transmit that kind of knowledge, hoping that it will probably be easier for those who are starting off. I wish for them to start off in a better way than I did, because quite a bit of my writing, virtually all of it, has been done outside this continent. So I've not had the advantage of any audience. Nobody comes to the theater saying, we are going to, be nice to this African. No, so I've stood out, but against incredible odds in some ways, and to pass on the knowledge, and it's not necessarily one-way traffic, because I also learn things like some of the vast tragic histories of people here, and I think that we need more of these collaborations, not less, and probably the more the merrier, in that I will teach, but I will also be learning a hell of a lot, I think.
So we teach to learn and learn to teach.
Right.
Indeed. Well, gentlemen, I hope it definitely becomes a success. And perhaps, are there any contact details for those that might be interested in finding out more details about this and how they can participate?
Yes, I shall reveal my numbers.
Okay.
It's 085 293 9333.
Okay.
Just call me and we shall be in touch.
Okay. Well, I wish you all the best to both of you, and may this play be a success. And also, perhaps when you are engaging future writers and all those that have not started where you started, but you capacitate them to be much better than where you couldn't have attained. So perhaps it might be a learning journey.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, that was a producer, Kia Mokhoti, Joseph Molapong, and actor George Bwanika Seremba, who are hosting a play that's at the theatre school on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of September, titled Come Good Rain. So definitely, if you're in the art space, please make it a point to be able to attend. But however, you can also be able to contact them on 085 293 9333 should you wish to get more details.